Hey everyone, this is John from Bearable Traders, and I want to review my best and worst trade from 22 April 2021. As always, if you could like this video, subscribe to our channel, or drop a comment, that's always appreciated. My worst trade today was on Boeing. It was actually two trades. Both high day break trades, and high day 1 was 238.13, high day 2 was 238.98. The volume for both was about 2 million shares. It was 2 million for the first trade. It might have been more like 2.1 for the second trade. The R-vol for both was 110%. So for the first attempt, I had 1 minute volume kind of spiking a bit. We don't have like the white stepped up pattern. It's harder to get that pattern earlier in the morning, but it is past 9:45 now, so it's not impossible. You can see it happen right here, right? And then you can see another one here. So it's possible, but I did not really have that at all, but I did have a bit of a spike in volume. The SPY was moving sideways after a sell-off, so you can see it sold off at the open and then kind of was just sort of consolidating or moving sideways. It's not really helping me, it's not exactly hurting me. And I took an entry at 238.24 when I saw the bid break 238.13. So in this case, we're not at like a nice dollar level where I might take it just below that level. I really wanted to see it break 238.13 on the bid, and so got in at 238.24. The spread on Boeing's not too bad. And I actually got a pretty good move. It got as high technically as 238.98. That was a sale. What I was looking for was the bid to get up above 238.90, and I would have taken a partial there. It would have been an okay partial, somewhere around 0.8 R, perhaps 0.75 R. But I never exactly saw it. If it did happen, it was very fast, and I missed it. And what you can see here is it's getting some resistance, obviously at 239, a dollar level, but also R4 sitting here at 238.89, and that is probably providing some resistance as well. So it's out near break even, just below at 238.21. The second attempt is now a break of 239 and R4 that I mentioned previously. So that's actually a better place to break from. Now we're close to a dollar level, just below it. This is great. A breakout from R4 can be very good as well. And on this one, I took an entry at 239.03. You can see the volume is now stepping up. It's not 3 white stairs. It's a red bar here coinciding with a red candle. But this is a great volume bar here. This is probably some of the volume as it broke through 239, the ask that was sitting there, but it's the second highest candle of the day, so that could provide some nice momentum. And it got a little bit of a move, and then I suffered through this awful 0.7 R pullback. I really did not like that, but it was bought back up very quickly, got back up around 239, and it kind of played there for a while. It actually was sitting above 239 nicely in these two candles, and seeing 239.20, 25. But after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, my 6th candle after entry, that's a long time for 9:52. A trade started at 9:52 in the morning, and I just wasn't feeling it. So I was feeling this is more of a pullback potential than a breakout at that point. So I got out at 239.05, just above my entry, and then in fact it did sell off after that. My best trade was on Zoom. Not expecting my best trade on Zoom today, but you never know what's going to happen. High day break trade with a high day of 331.48. Nothing real special about that high day. Like, yeah, it's a half dollar level, or very close to one, but that's nothing particularly special on a stock like Zoom, which moves so much. The volume entry low, I will admit, 700,000 shares. R-vol was 100%, sort of a normal trading day lately for Zoom. So that's a bit concerning that that the volume is this low. I'd really rather it be higher. At what was this, around 10? I can't remember what time I took this trade. Around 10:20 in the morning. I'd like to see over 1 million shares. Had essentially 5 break-even trades before this trade. Now sitting at 0.1 R in the day. So to talk psychology just a little bit, that can be frustrating. 5 trades, and I've got really nothing to show for it. With commissions, I was actually probably a bit negative, or right around break even. And at this point, I'm already seeing people in the Bearable Traders chat room talking about the great trades they have, the things that have gone well in their day. And, you get the psychology that you want to catch up. You want to get there too. And what's nice about this trade and what's nice about these 5 trades were, if you can keep your losses small, as you will often hear in trading, just wait for the one that falls in your lap, and that can make your day. And that's really what happened here. So it was great that it was frustrating to take 5 break-even trades, but that they kept my losses small, and then when the winter came, that's all I needed. Zoom began a steady march to the high of day 22 minutes after the open, with the SPY mostly moving sideways at that time. So you can see it starts here with this doji candle, and it begins a pretty steady move to the high of day. And again, at this time, the SPY was mostly going sideways. You can't see it on the SPY chart here. So that shows some promise for Zoom. That shows some optimism in price for sure. And then it got near the high of day, and I kind of like this resistance sitting up here. This is a bit subtle to see perhaps, but if you're watching it the whole time, you can see it. The high of day is at 331.48, and then it started to hit resistance at right around 331.40. So you got 331.38, 40, 37, and kept hitting it, coming down, getting bought back up. And then there's a bit of a sell-off to 330.50 thereabouts, and then that got bought back up pretty quick. And again, this is hard to see. You had to really be watching it, but you can see the 1 minute volume stepping up here. And it made this very strong move right up to this previous resistance level. And I thought that might be where the break happens. It didn't actually happen completely quickly or smoothly, but it never really pulled back again either. So at this point on entry, the SPY is now trending in my direction as well. So not a huge trend, but at least it had put in some kind of upward or downward movement, in this case upward, obviously, which is what I want for a long. Took an entry at 331.42. That's a bit low. That was a little bit risky. It was this little pop in volume and this quick move back up to that resistance level that made me think now's the time. I took 50% partials at these levels, 333.19. So I wanted to get a good move before I took my first one. I let it break through 333 and then partialed on the pause. So that's 333.19. Took my next 50% off at essentially the next dollar level. So I let it get up to 334 and break it, and then pause again. And I got a pause, right around 10 cents over the dollar level. And then the next one I wanted was really this one, 335. But the problem was it really was having a hard time in the mid 334s. So actually, going back in retrospect, wait, which one is it? Yeah, it's this one here. I don't know. Maybe I should have waited out. I could feel some sort of resistance here, and you can see I did partial, and then it did sell off a bit below 334. So I felt like that was a pretty good decision. And then knowing that 335 is a $5 level, I took another 50% off there. And then I had so few shares left. I was actually curious if I could get up to 340, which is what was left. I didn't get quite that greedy because when it got up to 337 or thereabouts, I took another 50% off. And then I had a range order set for either getting 339.49, a price up above 339 in the mid 339s, or stopping out at 333.49, which would be just below this local low, the one it did on that pullback after that partial. And eventually what happened was it did come back down, and it hit my stop down there at the bottom. And you can see the slippage you get on something like Zoom. The stop was at 49 cents, and it slipped and got me out at 32 cents, 333.32. So you got to expect that on these expensive stocks. You were going to get that kind of slippage. But that's the best and the worst for today. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.